What if the greatest mind in human history made the biggest mistake imaginable? Today, we're diving deep into the enigma that is the Emperor of mankind, a figure of unmatched strategic brilliance, but also profound galaxy-shattering flaws. For 10,000 years, he's been a silent god, but the choices he made when he walked among mortals still echo through the grim darkness of the far future. Let's start with his masterstroke, the Great Crusade. Imagine uniting a shattered galaxy, pulling humanity back from the brink of extinction after millennia of terror and isolation. The Emperor didn't just conquer worlds, he uplifted them. He brought science, reason, and a vision of a unified human destiny. His creation of the Space Marines and the Primarchs was an act of unparalleled genius. He engineered not just soldiers, but symbols, demigods to lead humanity into a golden age. He understood logistics, politics, and warfare on a scale no one else could even comprehend. He saw the long game, playing a celestial chess match against forces that would drive lesser beings insane. But here, right at the peak of his brilliance, we find the seed of his failure. His greatest project, the Imperial Truth, was a magnificent, rational lie. He declared there were no gods, no demons, only the Xenos and the unenlightened. He wanted to starve the chaos gods of worship to cut them off from their emotional fuel source. It was a bold, pragmatic strategy, a logical move to protect humanity from the horrors of the warp. But in doing so, he committed his most tragic error. He treated his sons, the Primarchs, as tools, not as people. Think about it. He created 20 superbeings, each a whirlwind of emotion, ambition, and power. And he told them nothing. He refused to explain the true nature of the enemy. He didn't teach them about the insidious whispers of chaos, how it preys on pride, on love, on despair. He expected them to be perfect, rational generals, immune to the very temptations he was hiding from them. He gave them a sword but never told them how to guard their own hearts. This is the core of his tragedy. The Emperor, the ultimate pragmatist, tried to amputate a part of the human experience. He believed he could engineer faith and emotion out of existence. But you can't. By denying his sons the knowledge of chaos, he left them vulnerable. Lorgar, desperate for a higher purpose, founded in the whispers of the warp. Magnus, seeking knowledge at all costs, was tricked by the ultimate deceiver. Horus, the favored son, burdened by the weight of the galaxy, had his pride and love twisted into rebellion. The Emperor didn't account for the fact that his sons were, at their core, human. They needed guidance, trust, and truth. He gave them orders instead. This leads us to his second great flaw, his profound, crushing loneliness. For millennia, the Emperor walked alone. He had allies like Malkador the Sigillite, but did he have a true equal? A friend who could challenge him, question his assumptions, and guide him? No, he was so far beyond everyone else that there was no one left to keep him grounded. He saw humanity as a project to be managed, a garden to be pruned, not a family to be nurtured. Imagine the arrogance it takes to believe you alone can steer the destiny of 1 trillion souls. He never sought to create a society that could stand on its own. He built an empire that relied entirely on him. He didn't want humanity to reach for the stars as a diverse and evolving species. He wanted them to fit into his perfect, sterile mold. A galactic tree, as some might say, that grows ever larger but is rotting from the inside, bloated and decadent because it lacks the strength that comes from true understanding and shared responsibility. His vision was for a humanity that spanned the galaxy, but he built it on a foundation of secrets and control. He never trusted anyone, not even his own sons, with the whole truth. When he left the Great Crusade to work on the Webway project, a plan to free humanity from the dangers of warp travel, he didn't explain his full reasoning to Horus. He just left. This created a vacuum of purpose and a festering sense of abandonment. Horus, the War Master, was left to wonder, what comes next? What is this all for? And it was in that moment of doubt that chaos found its opening. The Horus heresy wasn't just a betrayal. It was an inevitability born from the Emperor's own flawed design. He wanted to be a shepherd, but he acted like a tyrant. He loved humanity, but he didn't seem to understand individual humans. He built an empire of reason that collapsed into a temple of blind faith. The ultimate irony is that, in trying to kill the gods, he became one. The corpse on the Golden Throne is worshipped by the very kind of religious fervor he fought so hard to eradicate. So, was he a hero or a monster? The answer is both. He was a visionary genius whose ambition was matched only by his tragic isolation. He saw the path to humanity's salvation but was blinded by his own brilliance. He failed to see that you cannot protect people by keeping them in the dark. You cannot build a future on lies, no matter how well-intentioned. The state of the 41st millennium, a decaying empire of fanatics and eternal war, is as much his legacy as the Aquila itself. He won the war for humanity's survival, but in the process, he may have lost its soul. The story of the Emperor is a cautionary tale. It shows us that even the greatest plans can fail if they forget the human element. His flaws don't make him less compelling. They make him one of the most fascinating characters in all of fiction. What do you think? Was the Emperor's plan doomed from the start? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more lore. We'll see you in the next one.